Hey guys, we are live. Thank you so much for joining us for this Facebook Live chat. We are in Vancouver for Pride, and just do some intros. I'm Brian. I play Will Gorski in the series.
I'm Toby. I play Capius Onyango.
And I'm Max, playing Wolfgang Bogdanov.
Nobody knows who I am, and I would prefer to keep it that way. No, I'm kidding. Lana Wachowski, writer, director, coffee maker, mother, my 3 boys.
It's good coffee, Mom.
Can I get anyone else anything? We're taking orders on Facebook if you want to order in. Actually, I've never been on any social media. This is the first time.
I feel like really honored to sort of be a part of that.
Hello, Facebook.
It's a great way to thank the fans. We thank you so much for supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here. We wanted to somehow reach back after fans reached out and sort of saved our show, and it was such an unbelievable experience, really. I have never experienced anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. The show ended. Netflix gave us a rather brutal ending email. Then there was like soft emails that came afterwards, but it was really heartbreaking. And one of the saddest, hardest things was that I wouldn't work with these beautiful people who I love. And then the fans just you guys kept working and working and working, and then Netflix said, okay, we get it, but no. And then they worked even harder, and within 2 weeks, I had almost gone to do a whole nother direction in my life, and suddenly Netflix was calling me back, and it was all due to this populist uprising almost to save a piece of art. And it's like, how do you say thank you for something like that? How do you appreciate it? How do you kind of mark that as kind of miracle, like sort of Frank Capra, bizarre, goofy, happy ending? So we thought Facebook, that's how, definitely. Okay, that was me talking a lot.
Yeah.
As I do.
I mean, how did you guys?
How did your experience of it go? I'll try to be
Well, it was weird. I was in Chichester, which is this little town about 2 hours south of London. I was doing a play. So my hair is blonde. This is
pretty sexy.
I mean, you love it. You love it. I'm still like, oh, when is it going to grow out? And it was a very weird day because it seemed so final, and just to have, for me, the big thing was to have this story with all of our characters' lives completely unfinished and unknown, like they were just sort of floating out there in space somewhere, and that's just a feeling that you can never really rectify. I know it's just a show, and I know it's not just a show, but you know what I mean. That's what people would say. This is. You can't take stuff this personally. It's an industry too, right. But there are some ones that feel different, and this for us is also an experience. Making this thing as its own story, and to have that be uncompleted felt just dark. It was a very, very, very dark feeling.
Yeah, for me, it was the first time being on a show like that, like going back into a second season and building up this epic kind of character that is known all around the world, and people react like in the nicest ways, like so much love I'm getting everywhere where I go, and yeah, to know that this is going to end, also that I'm not going to see you guys again. This was like the worst thing, when somebody's telling you no, you're not going to meet each other again. It's like something, I had to digest, and felt really heartbroken. But then you guys fought for it, and this is the best comeback, and so I can really appreciate it even better, I think, when I know this is going to be like the end. This is going to be like a real ritual for us, and we're going to do our best to give back all the love that we became.
Yeah, I remember I was in my bed when I got the news, and I have a very strong emotional attachment to the show because these are the people that I'm learning, a foundation of TV acting and just like about art and culture and
Not just TV.
yeah, about like just like everything in general life,
Art making, social art making.
social art making, and yeah, I just they say don't have any expectations, but I expected to keep going and keep doing these amazing things and keep seeing these people and keep being able to touch everybody.
Yeah.
Because it was just so amazing. And then when they said no, I was like, that's the show business. Okay, cool.
You have to know this was his first job.
Yeah,
ever.
first thing. So it's like, that's the business part. Okay, we've been doing the art. That's like the show business part. And then seeing every single petition signed, it was like a resuscitative heartbeat. North of 500,000, resuscitative heartbeats and emails. And my dad signed the petition in Nigeria. I'm like, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a really cool moment.
Yes, pretty unprecedented, and it also was the business thing when it hits you in the face and you're like, okay, it's all about numbers, it's all about money, but we're not working that way. When you're making the art and you're putting so much of our sort of collective love, and I mean, making the show is unlike any project I've ever worked on. It's so close, and everyone just cares so much about everyone, and we live together, and we do have this like whole family thing, and then we all take our clothes off and we shoot amazing sex scenes together, and
Now?
the crew, and this is the part where we segue.
We just got a whole bunch of likes on that comment. They just went up like by 2,000.
Good.
But that the show sort of has its own its own sort of universe, and we enter it, and it's so joyful to go into that universe, and it's hard work. Look, it's hard. We all know that it's one of the most personal things I've ever done, and it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I think all of that energy is shared, and that makes it feel unique, and I've never worked on a show that had so much of the personalities of the people in the show, and that's partially because of me, because I take the personalities of everyone and I sort of write to them, and we talk on the set, and then I go, oh, that's a great idea, and I run home, and then I rewrite it and give it the next day, and that sort of ended up building this thing that you felt was separate from the sort of business universe world, and then it suddenly turned out that it wasn't, and then that was hard. But then it turned out that the way that it existed in the world was similar to the way we experienced it. So fans, they had a relationship to the piece of art that was similar to our relationship to the piece of art. And that was validating, and it was something that was a reciprocity that you don't always get in this business. And it felt like as much as we loved it, you guys loved it, and that as much as we cared and wanted it back, you cared and wanted it back, and you worked and you carried us and brought it back, and that's a gift we're so grateful for, and that's why I'm on social media for the first time in my life, saying thanks.
Well, let's take some questions now.
Please.
On social media here. This is from Tam Bradley. What specific fan reaction has impacted you most personally? Is there a specific fan moment that you've had that really
I think the first
out?
time we had this already, we told the people the first time in Positano when the people
Oh yeah.
under the balcony were singing what's going
You were
on.
doing yoga.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we hear these girls singing the song so loud, and
Yeah.
I mean for hours. I mean they would just stand there.
Did they know you were there?
Yeah.
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 We went on the balcony, we were singing with them, and that's when I knew this thing is like a rolling stone, just getting bigger and bigger, like an avalanche, like touching people's lives, and then, affecting their lives and their thinking, and yeah, being connected to all these people all around the world, also shooting in all these places, in original locations, was just, yeah, opened my mind for so many other things in my life.
I've had I had like a couple. I remember when the show first launched, season 1. I remember getting on the subway in New York City. I mean, literally, the show came out that day. It was like in June, I think. And there was this guy waiting on the subway track with me with his phone, and he was watching the first episode. And I was just like, oh, wow. I mean, this is a whole new way of, because I wasn't used to that at all. Like seeing that people can just access entertainment anywhere. I know that's not like a fan reaction, but that was just sort of like told me something about like who our fans were and who they were going to be. It was really cool. Yeah.
The Sao Paulo turnout.
Oh,
Like, I have never seen so many people in my life.
yeah.
Just as far as the eye can
Sao
see.
Paulo.
Just singing at the top of their lungs. I saw
Yeah.
the video, and the whole ground is moving, just undulating with love. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sao Paulo thing was, I mean, giant heart for Brazil.
Yeah,
I love Brazil
all that passion.
and Sao Paulo, and I love how they relate to our show. I wanted to do a show that was sensual, and we depict pain and we depict death. We depict every spectral variety of pain and death. But in our media, we hardly ever depict pleasure, and our bodies are one of the great gifts we have, and our capacity to like absorb pleasure. It was something I wanted to talk about. Sense8 was going to be about not just death, but I wanted it to be about birth, about life, about pleasure. And when people come up and talk about how Sense8 gives them a way to talk about things that normally they can't talk about, I love that. I love how Sense8 serves as a kind of language, and often like a bridge. We were in Paris, and at this beautiful cafe I love, and old Cafe Floor, and a man was waiting for us to finish, and we finished, and he stood up and he came over and he's like, "Can I hug you?" And I'll hug everyone. Come on in. And he says, "I want to thank you. Sense8 enabled me to come out to my mother, and we had never been able to have language around it, but Sense8 was a bridge that sort of enabled him and his mother to connect, and his mother to kind of acknowledge his life in a way she never had."
I remember someone on Twitter saying something that really kind of blew me away. Spoiler alert, but when Will's dad dies in season 2, and I think I got a couple comments from people saying that they had just lost a loved one or a parent, and that it was kind of cathartic to see someone, to see a character really allowed to experience grief and to really experience it in this really ugly way. I mean, it's sad and it's intense, but I think there's this tendency, especially in TV, to make everything commercial and to make everything palatable and to make everything, well, a little bit like real life, but just enough so that it can still sell Downy and dish soap and stuff like that. I mean, to really show someone going through something as ugly as losing a parent. But the beautiful thing is finding out that he does have a family who takes care of him as well, and that he has to be responsible for now. I don't know. It's cool when you see people getting it. When you just see people feeling what we are trying to.
Yeah, the emotional landscape, the emotional interior lives is also what I was interested in, and we talk about it a lot. It's like so much of the kind of dominant narratives today, they're about controlling or suppressing emotion. You're not supposed to feel emotion. Leaders are supposed to have emotion. Heroes are supposed to be strong and not be emotional. But I was like, I want to do the opposite. I want to make everybody, the point of the show is to explore the emotional landscapes of our lives.
So,
Moving on.
this is a so everyone's asking this question right now.
That's in the bold.
Who can answer this?
Is Wolfgang gonna be okay? This is all in caps, and I think there's 6 question marks.
Well,
Let's vote. If you send money to keep Wolfgang alive.
1-800.
1-800. You'll see the number where you can donate down here. Please save Wolfgang. Kids?
Is that the answer? Because I'm curious too.
Yeah, me
actually,
too.
I mean, I have no idea.
what's up with Wolfie?
Well, the real Lana Wachowski, because I'm an actor, been hired to play Lana Wachowski. She would never come on social media, never.
Lana's in a bunker somewhere. Yeah.
She's writing.
She swore she would never.
She's writing not because she believes so much in the fans that they're going to go out and actually create so many more fans. Lana's actually going ahead and writing the entire season 3.
Oh,
No. Netflix.
Why?
internet broken.
Now,
I think we just got cut off. I think the feed went dead.
they pulled the plug.
You see a helicopter like that?
Yeah. Well, we're writing right now. We're writing the fate of Wolfgang, and
It kind of depends on how this
Will
week goes, right?
and
Right.
Like on how good a
How
behavior
can
Max is
behave?
on.
Like,
Yeah, I think is that it?
You know, I mean, you're here. This is a good sign.
this
This is a really good sign.
good starter. Okay.
I think he's gonna
Let's
be
go
okay.
to the next one.
I think
We
Wolfgang's gonna
can't,
be all right.
obviously, we can't answer this question right now, but
you can start torturing me
Yeah.
with like.
Here's a cool one. How often do you all get together when not filming? Are there solid friendships that carry over in your day-to-day life?
we're Sense8.
Yeah.
We can visit each other like all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like in our dreams.
Yeah.
Every morning at 7
In
a.m.
the,
Censor.
Sometimes I see them in the club when I'm dancing.
like I just like appear.
Oh, brother.
No, but seriously, as much as we can, because everybody is like kind of busy. These guys are working. I will work like pretty soon. I was taking my time off, my family, and sometimes it's also good like being away for some time to get that feeling back. Like I need to see them again, and we also met in Paris. It was like beautiful. And, yeah,
We went to the catacombs
yeah,
and the Pompidou, and it was
and the
beautiful.
Louvre.
Well done. And then we walked around, and it was raining, and we were all along the river.
Such a great
and it was
time.
so beautiful.
So yes, we're spending time together outside of film.
It's sort of like family, where you try to make time, and everyone has busy lives, and you have your own families. But if you can, and you drift close to each other, then as soon as you are sort of close, you say, "Hey, I'm going to be." And we were in London, and you were.
Toby
doing a play.
visited me in Berlin.
Yeah. We went to go see
Yeah.
London. We went to go see Brian's show.
Yeah, these guys
West
came
End.
up, see me in a play, which means
It
a
happens.
lot.
It happens.
But it's not. But that's not usual. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a normal.
Yeah, we make it sound
No.
so casual, but mostly
it's-
the movie ends and it's over.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I need a break. Like, sometimes it's over, and you're like, okay, I love you guys, but I kind of need, let's not communicate for
But
a
whenever
while.
we meet, it's like
But this is different.
Reunion, yeah.
It was just like, you get home, you just be like, oh my God, you guys, I miss you so bad, Okay, getting a little emotional. Here's a question from Sophia. A lot of scenes happen in more places than once. What's it like to recreate a performance you performed months earlier?
well, it's how you see it. Sometimes it's just another chance to do the scene again, like with another kind of tone, another in another
Color,
kind of
if
atmosphere,
you will.
another color, and we're pretty much experimenting whenever we're shooting. It's not about like getting the perfect scene or make it like just the same way we did it already. So it's something that we are kind of enjoying, like doing something not better, just different, or just see what comes out when some months are in between and some time is in between. Then you can like see it We have a different perception when you on a different movie set in a different country and remember some lines that maybe say something else to you. Then
ring true in a different way.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's a beautiful chance we get there. I feel like.
It's a big part of like the show. The show itself ends up being such a mirror of what the show is about. And I was trying to make a show that's about this sort of quantum nature of life, and that things like the idea that our identity is fixed and that we're the same all the time is such a false idea. And so the way that we actually make the show ends up sort of embodying this kind of quantum idea. Like, there are some scenes that actually they become fully realized in a way because the person who the actors was at the beginning of the sequence is not who they were at the end of the sequence.
Yeah.
Like you and Kala, the kiss before the big love scene. It's like that scene we shot forever. We started it and then we ended the shoot with that scene. And who you and Tina were at the end, or that moment, couldn't exist without all of that life and discussions and, you know, explorations and tension. And then finally that beautiful moment happened that I don't think was possible at the beginning of the shoot. And so it's like the way we shoot and the way we go back and the way we re-experience like who we are as both actors and characters, and trying to capture just a moment of it is also in the show.
I also feel like that happens between seasons as well. I mean, I went back recently and watched season 1, and it was incredible to watch. I mean, even just like to see people's faces. You know, people didn't have certain experiences on their faces yet. You know, I didn't. You know what I mean? I know he's really
A little bit different.
you know.
Different haircut. Different.
Look.
But
Although, I mean,
but there's something about, you know, like we take. I know it can be frustrating for the fans, but you know, we do take such a long period of time in between seasons. In a way, is good for us because you get to go out and reconnect with your life in a really big way, and you know, maybe do like another film, or you know, do a play or something, and fall in love, fall out of love, you know, move, travel. And you can see it when people come back to the show. I mean, I don't even recognize myself from season 1. I'm like, I watched season 1 and I'm like, who is that person? You know, and that's.
But also what's happening in the editing room. Like when you combine all these scenes together, then you get out something that is way bigger than just the moment you spend on set and create there. You know,
I mean, when you guys should have
there.
seen the Who Am I, the shooting of the Who Am I montage. They would come to the set and be like, Lana, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is this? I don't get it. What is this?
In the end,
This is a great
worked out
question.
so well, yeah.
This is a question for Lana. Why did you choose our current cast for this show? What does it feel for you? Like, how does it feel for you? What kind of energy did you get from this cast?
Well, they should go into the silent booth now. We're dating. I'm going to date actor number 2. What was your first? I get asked about casting all the time. Carmen Cuba, who helped me cast this, she's amazing. She's actually in the show as the casting director of with Kid Wrangler. Hi, Carmen. Are you out there? But mostly I cast based on energy. And I meet someone, and you know, sometimes I'll go through the kind of pretense of doing the scene, but really I'm just trying to feel the energy. And one point, when I met Max, I was just like, you know, Max, I don't even really care about the scene. Let's just talk. And we just talked, and it was just about a feeling. And you know, it's sometimes there's just a magic that you kind of try to get yourself out of the way of, and you don't, you try to let the sort of like, I think it's actually kind of beautiful that Coffee has ended up getting played by 2 actors. I mean, again, to explore this nature of quantum identity, it's sort of like that ended up happening, ended up being another layer of the way that I was trying to discuss identity. And so it's like sort of beautiful that this one actor who was quite good at being innocent and boyish then would be replaced by an actor who was sort of quite had a boyish quality and a boyish energy, but was ready to be more of somebody you could believe could become a political leader. And that was like, and also fall in love and be sort of sensual with another body. And that sort of ended up being perfect in a way. And it was like, I wouldn't have ever designed it like that, but it happened and it ended up being better than I could have designed it. Just like all of these cast members are better than I could have ever sort of consciously willed into being.
But in a way, it's like what you were talking about before, is how, you know, people really do change.
Yeah.
I mean,
and how you have to accept things. Like during the process, you cannot control everything, especially not yourself and everything around you. You sometimes have to,
which is hard because we want to do that so hard. You know, like you
listen
really want to
carefully
control.
and then try to ride the wave like it comes, and then you find the best way to do it.
Let's see. What city? What's a city that you haven't been to that you'd like to film or work in?
Boy, so many.
I mean, because you filmed. I mean, if you think about, I mean, Speed Racer and The Matrix and I mean, Cloud Atlas. I mean, is there anywhere you haven't filmed yet that you would really love to?
The moon.
The moon.
We're going
I was going to say the moon.
We're going next.
We actually were joking, you know, like watch. This is the season where Lana's going to be like, so what do you feel about skydiving?
Yeah, base jumping.
I'd like to film a fight scene.
Orgy.
Air. Oh God, no, you did that thing you do when you were really thinking about something. Your hands went together. Forget I said that.
It's an orgy.
Well, I started with compiling a list of all of the things that the cast are the most afraid of.
Yes.
And then I began designing plots so that they would basically intersect with all of their worst fears. Spiders, caves, snakes, anyone, water.
All of it.
They've slowly realized how evil I am over the years. Yeah, look, I think the world is full of astonishing cities that I have yet to film in, but I've traveled to. My wife and I love to travel. The world is full of magic everywhere, and people and cultures are they're just inviting to your own sense of identity to expand inside of, and so I like going everywhere. I mean, I'd seen pictures, and my friends had been to Sao Paulo, but I had never been there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to design this whole sequence to go to Sao Paulo and be in gay, and it turned out to be one of the most magical experiences of my life.
We should film here in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver.
But everyone shoots here. Everyone in the whole world shoots here. We're the only people who don't shoot here. But I love Vancouver, so I would be, and the Pride has been super fun so far. Thanks, Vancouver.
More fun.
Yeah. Really
Antarctica.
took care of us. Carrie Hill wants to know if she can buy us all a beer or maybe a tequila.
Tequila cubed.
Tequila square.
Tequila square.
Yeah.
Squared.
Tequila square.
Sure.
Yes.
Max was like, yeah.
Please.
Tell me
Now.
What do they have at that restaurant?
Now.
No, we went to this place called the Steamworks Brewery.
Yes. We had
What
a
did they
little
have? It was-
tourist moment.
It was tequila beer.
Oh,
No,
beer garita.
beer garita.
Beer garita.
Necessary.
Let's see. What's the best thing about being a part of the cast of Sense8? I mean, it really is about the people. It's about the people, and I think for me, the sort of process of making the show, which
Getting naked with all
Getting
your
paid
sexy.
for traveling.
And
Yeah. No, having an amazing time. Like, we getting pretty much spoiled. Like, when we're shooting, we can, like, say what we need and we get it. And,
I spoil my children.
just to stay
I
creative.
spoil
No,
them.
it's in a positive way. Like, really. I still appreciate that. And I still, learning so many things, which is the most amazing thing for me to like go to all these places, getting to know the people there and see how they live, and yeah, all these amazing things I'm learning, like about myself, about this group dynamic that we have, and yeah.
It's amazing to just watch them grow. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like a parent sometimes. I mean, when you say you can't recognize yourself, I mean, how you guys have evolved as actors and artists, and also...
We don't even need rehearsals anymore. Like,
No.
we can just shoot.
This is rolling.
That's the only way we do the show. We just basically show up, we get a camera, I get Daniele, I put my arms around him, John Toll is flying around, and we just start shooting. It's like a big dance. We're just constantly moving, we're constantly playing, and then usually we end after 14 hours of shooting, and then we go party.
Right.
Yeah, I think that for me is that's the great thing is like is really
That we can
going
also party
out
together.
Yeah, I mean, just having that connection with each other, and you know all the memories. I can't tell you how many cities we've just been up like in hotel rooms talking and listening to music.
But also that you guys
8,
know my
9,
family,
10.
you know.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also
Yeah.
Well,
special kind
speaking
of
of which,
Deal, yeah.
we have some more partying to get to
Yeah.
here at Vancouver Pride. So I guess we should wrap this up.
Okay. Well, time's running when you have fun.
Time's running
Wow.
out. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
for coming here and spending your afternoon with us.
Thanks for my social media cherry.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride. Thanks, Facebook.